Greetings, people of Earth and worlds beyond. This is the Phoenix King, and I'm back again to do yet another live reaction in my original recording space, also known as my house before I went to college. So we're going to do a live reaction yet again, because I tend to do those now. And we're going to react to a video that was suggested by T42 with a little number. I get it. I like that. So here we go. Top 10 saddest moments in... Oh crap, this is my video. Top 10 saddest moments in movies, part 1. Oh crap, I forgot I made this. This was like one of my, my third or fourth one. Actually, I think it was my fourth. Oh, this should be interesting. Here we go. Oh, I remember Live and Learn. Yeah, way to use someone else's compilation there. I love all that negative space. Ooh, it just really brings in the atmosphere.
In our modern society, it has become very difficult for films to touch us on an emotional level.
What voice is that?
Audiences have come to think of movies really as stories. And because of this, sad moments have become increasingly treated as amateur, cliché, or even silly. However, there have been a few movies
Oh my
over
god,
the
what
years
voice
that
is
have
that?
really hit home with people's hearts.
Oh, this is going to be painful.
Have, by my understanding, caused entire theaters to tear up or even cry. Please note that these moments are only from movies I have viewed.
Hello,
There will be
I am
large
here today
spoilers
to
on
talk
this
to you
list.
about
So,
osteoporosis.
here's my top 10 saddest
This is a
moments
very
in
painful
movies.
symptom that often is associated with a lack of calcium in the bones, typically brought on by old age. Mr. Rogers. Oh yeah, a way to use a funny clip as your transition for a video called Top 10 Saddest Moments.
Yeah. This was probably supposed to be the saddest moment in the Star Wars series, but it wound up being really
This was
cheesy.
probably supposed to
No,
be the
actual
saddest moment
for
in the
this
Star
countdown
Wars
comes from the third
franchise.
installment in the series, Revenge of the Sith. Or is it the sixth installment? Anyway, let's start with some backstory.
Ooh, still images! The best thing ever!
In an effort to gain an advantage in the war, the Republic has created an army of super soldiers called clone troopers. While this is going on, Darth Sidious, leader of the Sith, infiltrates the Republic under the name and title of Chancellor Palpatine. Just as the Jedi have begun to trust the clones, Palpatine instructs the troopers to
execute Order 66.
Order 66 was a failsafe enacted by Palpatine, so that in the event that the Jedi were to be
Oh
corrupted
my
by
god,
the
I
Sith,
sound
the troopers were
horrible.
to execute the
I
Jedi
sound
to
so
prevent them from fighting
freaking,
alongside the Sith.
like,
Of course,
abstained.
The Jedi haven't been corrupted, but Palpatine, I mean Sidious, seized the opportunity.
This
to
is
turn
not
the tides
this is
towards
not
the Emperor.
acting! What on earth
Then,
was I
this-
doing? Was not even close to acting. And I had been in some plays at this point. I'd done acting. I know what that's like.
Now, the majority of audiences had known from watching the original trilogy that most of the
Yeah,
Jedi
a majority,
had
as
been
in
wiped
pretty
out.
much everybody.
But I don't think any of them knew just how evil an act wiped them all out. And just how heartbreaking it would be to watch.
Yeah, nothing says sad moments like Star Wars, does it?
When Yoda dropped his staff, felt a disturbance.
Oh,
fell to the ground.
Christ. Jesu Christe. Oh, that Windows Live Movie Maker, you know?
Because, as aforementioned, audiences
generic.
did see it coming.
Wow.
I can sense when something's coming. Nothing gets by me.
Okay, random total drama clip. I mean, I still do those occasionally, but... Wow. Oh. Uncle Ben! Your rice is ready! I'm sorry it took so long, but we were out of white rice. I had to use brown!
This scene was the main plot device of the Spider-Man series, inspiring young Peter Parker to serve as a superhero. But unfortunately, this moment did not make our countdown.
More still
Well,
images! It's the best,
The last time I'm
best
going
thing.
to do that. Uncle Ben's death was admittedly emotional, for Peter at least, but it seemed
Who
so
suggested this T42?
rushed. Maybe if they had told us why he was shot. Oh, wait. In Spider-Man 3, Peter Parker finally learns who killed his uncle, a man named Flint Marko. Peter becomes consumed
Pro
by
tip.
revenge.
How to lose your credibility in 2 seconds. Mention anything positive about Spider-Man 3.
Peter confronts his uncle's killer not as a spider, but as a man. So,
I actually
why
kind of like
Ben?
Spider-Man 3, about as much as the other two. But... It is not a popular film. A lot of my opinions on a lot of movies are unpopular, actually. Which is why I don't really do movie countdowns anymore. I have one planned. Somewhere in the future. But I haven't done one in a while because they've just been so polarizing for other people. Just because I've been so limited in my exposure to like several of the quote-unquote classics and quote-unquote
The reason
modern
why this
Marvels.
touches audiences so
Not like
deeply
Avengers,
is
but
it is
like
one of the few
Terminator
moments
and
in
stuff like
movies
that.
that shows the antagonist not as a villain, but as a human being.
In all seriousness, this one isn't too bad of a choice, but just the fact that it's from Spider-Man 3 turned a whole lot of people away from it. I got several
All that Peter Parker
comments.
wanted was what was best
about
for
it.
his daughter.
And this was back in the time where I got 0 comments. And
never be able to get rid of or explain
this
to
was
his
back when
family.
I had no exposure whatsoever. And all the okay, not all, but I got more comments on this video than any other, and the majority were about, wow, these are horrible choices, you horrible
The only
taste
thing
in
we got from
films.
the original scene was that Ben was shot by
Which
a
was a
car
little
truck.
mean,
But this scene
and I don't
got
really
down
approve
to
of
the
that,
meat and
but
potatoes of Uncle Ben's death. And it is so
at the time,
satisfying
when I had
to
much
watch.
less exposure to, the big, giant, universally loved films, these were my legitimate choices. It just so happens that my library didn't really lend themselves to sad moments. Which is another reason why I haven't done a movie countdown in a while. I'm getting better. I'm exposing myself to more of that kind of stuff, but I've still got a ways to go.
Contrary to the majority of Will Smith's acting career, he has played leading roles in 2 serious films, The Pursuit of Happiness and 7 Pounds. By a long shot, 7 Pounds had a greater effect on me personally. Even from the first few words of the film, we know that this is going to be a tearjerker.
In 7 days, God created the world. And in 7 seconds, I shattered my...
Will Smith plays as Ben, a young man
If
who,
I remember
for unknown
correctly,
reasons,
7 Pounds
is
actually,
unusually
I still
determined
like,
to help
really
the
like.
people he meets. Throughout the film,
But from what
Ben
I
donates
can
organs
recall
to
about my
various
list,
people in a hospital.
this should have gone a lot closer to the top.
A woman with elite
Just
heart
considering
condition.
some of the stuff that's
As
coming
they get
down
to
the
know each
line.
other, and he starts to fall in love with her, Ben is thrown
Oh.
into a state of depression. This is heightened drastically when
Like
Ben
Click.
absentmindedly drives down the highway and causes a huge wreck,
And, yeah.
stealing the lives of several innocent
Ah!
Finally, at the climax of the film, when Emily is hospitalized and on life support, Ben makes a decision to save her life and redeem his by donating his own heart.
What's the emergency?
There's been a suicide.
Who's the victim?
I am.
What makes this moment stand out from the rest is the strange clash occurring between love and death. Suicide out of love is by no means
Oh, little old me.
portrayed in
Little
this
15 or so year old me.
rather than of simple
Thinking
shock.
I'm able to
Ben
make
needed a way to
some
kill
actual
himself without
commentary
damaging his vital organs.
that'll be taken
Icy
seriously.
water and the jellyfish combined created a truly unique and admittedly mesmerizing death. We see Ben struggling. We know that he wants to stop. But we
Stop
also know that he
talking,
wants
Phil.
to save Emily more. When all is said and done, Emily's body accepts Ben's heart, and, quite literally, he will always be with her.
Okay, this isn't actually as bad as some of my other early work. But
Wait, an animation made the list? Yes, all you skeptics, it did. And it
Oh,
won't be
yes.
the last.
Spoiler alert!
Anyway, this
Uh,
next moment comes from
oh,
an animated
trying to
film,
predict audiences'
Brother Bear.
reactions, even though you don't have an
In the next
audience.
portion of the film,
Oh,
King, an
oh,
Inuit
oh,
hunter,
oh.
chases and kills a bear for what appears
Oh
to be
yeah,
no
Brother
reason.
Bear.
As an act of revolt, the heavens
Oh, I forgot about that
transform him
movie.
into the likeness
Well,
of
not
that
for this,
bear.
but I have
As Peter
since.
tries to find a way to become human again, he meets Coda, a rambunctious cub who supposedly knows where Kenai needs to go. Along the way, Kenai grows to care for Coda. and
Oh,
becomes
nothing
a
like
sort of
those
father
black
figure to him.
bars.
Towards the end of their journey,
This
Coda
was before the
reveals
crop
that
button was
his mother
invented.
went out hunting a few days earlier and hadn't returned. Kenai connects the dots and realizes that the bear he killed was Coda's mother.
Dun, dun, dun.
Burdened
Whoa.
with guilt, Kenai decides to tell Coda everything.
There's something you know that story you told me last night?
Yeah.
Well, I have a story to tell you.
Really? What's it about?
Well, it's kind of about a man, and kind of about a bear, but mostly it's about a monster.
Cthulhu.
This moment struck us deeper than any of the aforementioned.
Oh,
Because of
way to
Coda's
say
innocence.
us, even though you have no
Kenai
audience at
has
this
seen
point.
death. He knows
Ooh,
what it is.
Lovely,
Coda
lovely stuff.
has not. For most of the film, Coda just assumed that his mother was lost, and it didn't even cross his mind that she might be dead. Let me put it this way. How can you look a child in the eye and tell him that his mother is never coming back?
Okay, I'm not doing part 2. I have to stop after part 1. Ba 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 ba. Oh,
For the next entry on the list, we have one of the greatest musicals of all time.
if you ask
Phantom
half the
of the
population
Opera.
of the world, if you ask the
A
other half,
story
it's one of the
about
most
love,
pretentious musicals of all
sadness,
time.
betrayal, secrets, and some of the greatest musical scores I've ever heard. I recommend this movie to anyone willing to listen. For those who haven't seen the movie, I'll try not to spoil
Okay,
the plot as
quick
it has many
tangent.
twists and turns
Stop
that
complaining
you'll
about
have to
Gerard
watch to fully
Butler.
appreciate.
Sure, he's not the greatest
Here are the
singer, but
basics.
it's sort of
A
like
man living
Javert
an opera
in the Les
house falls in
Miserables
love with
movie.
Christine,
It
who's
just
in love with
it
Raoul.
fits the character,
He
okay?
spends the
Stop
length of
it.
the movie trying to steal Christine from Raoul to the point of actually threatening to
I made
kill
her fantastic
him,
about it. Look
which
at
brings us to
that.
number 6 on this countdown. Now, I'm going to try to describe this scene without spoiling the ending for those who haven't seen the movie, so please bear with me.
Why? You've
After a
spoiled
battle
4
of
other
vocals
endings
comprising
so
several
far.
songs from the entire movie, the Phantom realizes how obsessed he's become and releases Raoul. Ultimately, he leaves Christine to decide who she wants to be with. After Christine makes her choice, which I won't reveal, a group of opera house workers invades the Phantom's home, and he's forced to leave and never come back.
I
During
gotta
the
try to
last
describe
moments
this scene
in
by
the
not
empire
spoiling the
music
ending.
that the Phantom
So here
has
I go
built,
spoiling the
he
ending.
reprises music of the night and defies the one thing that he has defined himself as for his entire
He
life.
defies the one thing that he has defined himself. I sounded really southern there. See, like right there. How do people hate that? That sounded good. That sounded like nice, at least adequate singing. Whoa. Whoa. This video is unstable. It's bouncing all over the place. Oh, that's just the text. I'm sorry. This was the time where I was using a demo
Now lost
of,
everything.
I believe, Sony
He's
Vegas.
lost his love, his home,
And so,
his life,
I did all the text
and
effects
even
I could
his
because I knew how to do those.
However,
But I
that
couldn't
only
find a
accounts for
freaking
half
crop
the
button.
emotion in this scene. The Phantom has been living his entire life under a mask, both literally and metaphorically.
Oh, thank
However,
God this is almost
now
over.
that he has lost everything, he takes down his fear, and now he can lead a brand new life. All this emotion is incredibly overwhelming, not only for the Phantom, but for the viewer as well. The music of the night might be over, but this moment, and the Phantom himself, live on.
This is just part 1, there's a part 2. I'm not gonna do it here. I think this speaks for itself. Because I think this is enough. Oh, goodness. To be continued, but not on this live reaction. Good God, that was painful. Oh. In terms of old countdowns of mine, this one isn't the worst. There are some, like, worst minigames, worst cliches, and worst endings, and hardest stages. All those were bad both conceptually and technically. This one was at least decent looking. It wasn't very smart of me. I understand this now, but at the time I wasn't really exposed to a whole lot of particularly sad movies. Like, in part 2, if I remember correctly, like, Marley and Me is on there, and, the Snape's flashback from Harry Potter is on there. And okay, since we've gone all the way through this video, and I teased that I would be making another movie-related countdown sometime in the future, and probably a small majority of my viewers are going to watch this anyway, I might as well give you a quick little teaser. You see, whenever I've done a movie countdown, like movie sequels especially, I have always been called out on my taste in movies. Like, it seems that a lot of things I like or don't like are very unpopular opinions. So, I thought to myself, if I'm going to make another movie countdown, why not do that intentionally? Let the troll fodder commence.